Hello friends, today I'm going to talk to you about 5 powerful ways that design thinking help transform your data into insights. Now imagine you are sitting on a lot of data. You being an e-commerce company, there's continuously data being generated. And suppose if your data says today, from all the data that you've gathered, it says that your NPS scores as an e-commerce company is dropping. I'm sure this might be concerning and this will be killing the business in the long term. However, what does that NPS drop truly mean? Now, this is where data has a problem. When too much data is there, percentages are there, they will tell you where the problem is. But why is there a problem? That is where the challenge comes in. And that is where truly design thinking fits in. Now, let's go through one by one on how can design thinking really help you transform your data into insights. Point 1 is empathizing with the user, empathizing with the consumer, and truly understanding why, truly understanding the human context of it. Now, think about it, the same example that I spoke to you about, NPS scores are dropping. We empathize with the users, we figure out that the NPS scores are dropping because at a particular point in the journey of the user, there are a lot of user dropouts, because of which the reviews are dropping, because of which NPS is getting impacted. Now, the empathy part of it brings you to a stage wherein it tells you that why are the users dropping? There are too many fields that they have to fill, there are too many data points that they have to fill before even they register. And that is the reason they hate that experience and they're dropping out. This brings you to the why of it. Now moving to the point 2 or the second stage, wherein you're narrowing down and bringing it down to the real pain point and defining the real problem or the goal that you're really wanting to accomplish. So now our goal is not to address the NPS, but now our goal is to how do we reduce the number of fields that the user has to fill so that we can reduce the dropout rates, which will ultimately impact our NPS. So the second stage wherein, or the second part, the point wherein it helps you narrow down to the real or the problem that it's right or the right problem, and then move towards solving it. In which comes the point number 3, which is ideate. Ideate collaboratively and come out with solutions that are solving the real problems. Now let's continue with the same example. From the data, we move to the human context. From the human context, we move to the problem. Now we will ideate solution on can we auto-populate some of the fields by taking a few data points from the user. If we can see most of the fields can be auto-populated. Idea 1. Idea 2, can we reduce the number of fields and see which fields are unnecessary in the journey. Idea 3 can we stagger the collection of data across the entire journey rather than taking everything at one go. So you might have multiple ideas through which you can solve the real pain point or the real problem. From which we will move to the stage 4 or the point number 4, which is about prototyping and trying to figure out what really works. So we had 3 ideas which we felt that can solve the problem. We can do low fidelity prototypes, and design thinking helps you actually go to low fidelity prototypes, take those low fidelity prototypes to actual users and try and figure out which one is the user valuing more, or can there be a combination of these 3 ideas? Is the user happy with if some of those data points can be auto-populated, or they want to stagger the information, or they would want can we reduce the number of fields, or if we need a combination of these. Prototyping really helps you to come out to narrow down further to see that which is the solution that is going to truly work with the user, and you can really launch something that the user is going to use and value. And the last point that I would want to highlight, which through design thinking really helps you, it's about continuous improvement, testing and continuously improving your solution. You've launched it, everything is working fine, however your user is evolving. Design thinking helps you to continuously mine that data, bring the human context, narrow down to the new needs of the users that have come in, again prototype, so that you can continuously keep evolving your solution, and your solution or your entire e-commerce experience becomes truly timeless, and you have a lot of happy consumers, ultimately addressing the initial problem of NPS that we had identified. So next time you are sitting on a lot of data, bring in an element of design thinking into it, and you will have a pool, or you'll have an ocean of insights which can truly help you transform your digital or all kinds of experiences, product, digital processes to consumer delight.